Welcome back. In the last lecture, we saw what an augmented grammar is. We also discussed about the concepts of LR0 items. Today, we are going to talk about two important functions. One is known as closure, other one is known as goTo. These two functions are very much helpful in constructing the canonical collection of LR0 items. So let us start with the function closure. The function closure takes as input an item set I. The closure of I is computed using two rules. The first rule says that by default every item in the item set I will be an element of the closure set. That is, you should add every item in I to closure of I. Now the second rule goes like this. If A gives alpha dot B beta is in closure of I and B gives gamma is a production, then you need to add the item B gives dot gamma to the closure set if it is not already there. Let us try to understand what this says. You have the item set I. In that set you have an item of the form A gives alpha dot B beta. Now if you concentrate on this item, you find that dot is to the left of B beta. That means what? In the input, next you expect a substring derivable from B beta. So that means if B gives gamma is the production, you are expecting a substring derivable from gamma. Why? Because we are expecting a substring derivable from B beta. So if you are having a production B gives gamma, so obviously here B is to the left, B is to the right of dot, right? So you are noted red B. So that means if B gives gamma as the production, then you are expecting a substring derivable from gamma. That is why you need to add the item B gives dot gamma if it is not already there in the closure set. And you need to repeat this rule as long as you are able to add new items to the closure. That means for every item of this form A gives alpha dot B beta, for every production B gives gamma, you check whether the item B gives dot gamma is already there in the closure. If it is not there, you should add that item. So this is the algorithm to compute closure of I. So the first step says that every item in I should be part of the closure set. So here we will be using the set J to denote the closure of I. So every item in I should be added to J. So initially you assign the value of I to J. You initialize J with I. Every item in I will be element of the set J, which is the closure. Now you need to go for the second step. What does the second step say? It is actually a loop, right? So for every item A gives alpha dot B beta in J, for every production B gives gamma in the grammar G, if you find that B gives dot gamma is not present in the closure set, you just add that item to the closure set. Okay, that is what we saw in the second step previously. And this should be repeated until no more items can be added to the closure set. So finally, when you get out of the loop, the set J will be the closure set, so you can just return J. So let us take an example to understand more on the concept of closure. So here you are given an item set which consists of just a single item E dash giving dot E. You want to find closure of I with regard to this augmented grammar. This augmented grammar is having 7 productions like this. With regard to this grammar, you want to find closure of I. Let us do that. So closure of I will be closure of the set E dash giving dot E. So what did the first rule say? By default, every item in the item set I will be present in the closure set. So this item E dash giving dot E should be present in the closure set. So that will be added. Now you have a production of the form E dash giving dot E. That means what? You have dot to the left of E. That means you need to add all the E productions to the closure set. That is, you need to add all those productions with E as the left hand side, because you are yet to read E, so all the productions corresponding to E will be added. All the E productions should be added here. What are the E productions here? E gives E plus T and E gives T, so add them. Now what you have, E, you have dot to the left of E, so you need to add E productions, which you have already done. Now you have dot to the left of T. That means what? You are yet to read the symbol T. That means you need to add all the T productions to the closure set. You add all the productions that have got T on their left hand side. So you need to add these two productions to the closure set. So T gives dot T star F and T gives dot F. Now you have dot to the left of F, so you need to add the F productions also to the closure set. So F gives dot parenthesized E and F gives dot ID. Okay, so let me repeat that. Initially the closure set will contain this item. Now you have dot to the left of E, so you add all the E productions. You have dot to the left of T, add all the T productions. You have dot to the left of F, add all the F productions. So this will be closure of I. Now let us take up the second function, goTo. So remember, in the last class I told that the item sets will be used to construct the automaton, which is known as the characteristic finite state machine, or the CFSM in short, and the item sets correspond to states in the CFSM. Now this goTo function is taking two arguments. One is the item set I and the other one is a grammar symbol X. So I told that the item set corresponds to a state in the CFSM. So imagine like this: you are in the state I. To which state you should go if you read the symbol X in state I? Okay, assume you are in the state I. Imagine you are in the state I. On reading the symbol X in that state, to which state should you go? That is given by goTo I comma X. Here X is a grammar symbol, that means it could be a terminal as well as a non-terminal. The goTo is defined like this: it is the closure of the set of all items A gives alpha x dot beta such that A gives alpha dot x beta is in I. So let us understand this. You have the set I, that is, you are in a state corresponding to the item set I. You have an item of the form A gives alpha dot x beta. That means what? Here you have dot to the left of X. That means you are yet to read X. So if you read X in that state, where will the dot move to? It will be moved one position to the right. Am I correct? So it will be like A gives alpha x dot beta. So you get a new item here. There could be multiple items of this form. So corresponding to every such item, you will be getting items of the form A gives alpha x dot beta. So you collect all those items in a set, in a temporary set, and then you take the closure of that temporary set. That will be the goTo. Okay, I repeat, you want to find goTo I comma X. What you need to do? You identify all those items in I which are of the form A gives alpha dot x beta. That is, you identify all those items such that you have a dot to the left of the symbol X. Then what you need to do? You just move the dot over the symbol X and add to a temporary set. Okay, so you need to repeat this for all the items of this particular form. So you will be having collection of such items of the form A gives alpha x dot beta. Okay, you collect them in a temporary set. You find a closure of the temporary set. That will be the goTo. So this is a function to compute goTo. You are, as I told earlier, you will be forming a temporary set, right? So the temporary set is taken as J here. That is initialized to be the null set. Then what you need to do? For every item of the form A gives alpha dot x beta in I, what you need to do? You just move the dot to the right of the symbol X and add to J. So add A gives alpha x dot beta to J. Okay, you try to collect all such items in the temporary set J then you just return closure of j. That will be closed, and that will be the go to. So let us take an example. So here you have you are given the item set I equal to e dash giving e dot and e giving e dot plus t. Okay, you are given two items in the item set. You want to find go to I plus. So what you need to do, you first form the temporary set, then you take the closure of the temporary set. So you need to find go to I comma plus. So what you need to do, in this I you identify which all items have dot to the left of plus. So here you find that only this item e gives e dot plus t has got dot to the plus dot to the left of plus. Okay, so only that item will be added to the temporary set. So the temporary set j will contain what? This item. But remember, before adding that item to the temporary set, you need to move the dot over the symbol plus. So okay, so what will the temporary set contain? E gives e plus dot t. Okay, now you need to take the closure of this particular set. So what will you get here? So by default you will be having this item in the closure, then you have dot to the left of t, so you add all the t productions. Now you have dot to the left of f, so you add all the f productions. So this will be the closure of this temporary set j. In a sense, this will be go to I comma plus. So in item set I, if you read the symbol plus, you will get a new set. You will move to the state corresponding to this item set. So we'll stop for now. In the next session, we will see how to construct the canonical collection of LR0 items. Thank you.